Hi everybody, it is me. I have returned once again. I don't know what I'm gonna call this video, but I just needed to vent. And so I was like, you know what? I may as well use my frustration to create content for my channel. So I guess if I had to title this anything, I would, well, let me just say this. I am talking about intrusive people. People that don't know how to stay in their place. People that are always trying to encroach upon your privacy or your personal information. So this is what happened, or what has been happening. There is a person, I'm trying to give as little detail as possible because, honey, you know, people are sneaky and you never know who's going to be coming to watch your channel. So I don't want no drama because I don't want to have to go off on anybody. I prefer not to. So there's a person, and we do not have a close relationship. We do not have a personal relationship or a close relationship. And it just seems like they're constantly trying to connect with me. And one thing I cannot stand is forced relationships, forced conversation. You know, if I click with you, vibe with you, whatever you want to call it, great. You know, the conversation will come easily, but I don't have to have personal conversations, or anybody, with people that I don't have personal relationships with. And so it seems like this person is always trying to find out something about me, trying to engage me. And it's not even so much the questions, it's just, I don't know. It feels invasive. It feels invasive, and it really reminds me of the time I was sexually harassed by my supervisor. I had to tell that story on another video. And you know, it's just like trying to push me into, or them trying to push themselves into a place with me that is not available for them and that I don't want them to be in. And what I found is that, you know, there are some people, and well, not everybody, but you know, a lot of people, many people, oftentimes, I don't know, however you want to phrase it, where people feel like they're entitled to know every single thing about you. I don't know if it's the internet, I don't know if it's social media, I don't know if it's because you can Google people and find out information about them. You know, I don't know, but the truth of the matter is, nobody is entitled to know anything about me, anything about you, unless I decide that I would like to make that information available to you. So, you know, I have the right to reveal as little or as much information about myself as I would like to. And I have the right to set up boundaries in my life and to limit communication to a certain realm, so to speak, if I want to. You're not going to force me into, you know, having a conversation with you about something personal when we don't have a personal relationship. And so I find that this person always does that. And it's almost like it's almost like something is just driving them to want to know something about me or want to know me. And you know, I'm not saying I'm the greatest person in the world. We're all great. You know, I'm good with who I am, but there are times I have found where there are people where it's just like, they're just trying to keep up with me, or they're just trying to know something about me. It's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a natural curiosity, but here's the thing. Usually you can tell when something is like a natural curiosity with a person, because I'm quite curious myself. So I ask a lot of questions, but not to get information, not in a malicious way, not in a way to try to manipulate a person. I'm just generally and honestly curious about a subject or whatever. We'll say where somebody is from, how was that city, how was it growing up there, how, you know, did you enjoy it, would you move back, whatever. But I found in my life where I've been in situations where people will ask me questions or try to start a conversation with me, but they really have an ulterior motive. So there's some times where people will try to engage me, and then as soon as I engage, they feel like they have an open door, and then here they come sideways with some drama or something crazy, and it's like, oh my goodness. And with those type of people, I just don't respond, or I take my time responding. This is a person that it says, hey, good morning, and naturally you would just respond back, good morning, whatever. But as soon as you respond to that person, here they come with, well, I heard so and so and so and so, or I feel so and so and so and so, and it's just like, you know what? If you wanted to have a conversation about a particular subject, let me know, and we can arrange a time to have that conversation. But don't act like, you're just having a casual encounter or greeting me, a normal casual greeting, and then you come and ambush me with what you really wanted. You had an ulterior motive. I don't like that. It's passive aggressive, and I hate passive aggressive communication. I really do. Or there's that person that, they ask you information on what seems like an innocent way, but in all actuality, they're gathering information to use as ammunition against you. This is a person, and you might feel like, oh, this is my family member, whatever, a person I've known all my life. You're having a conversation. You're like, girl, I finally got the promotion that I had been seeking, and it came with a raise too. And then they say, oh really? How much of a raise did you get? And we'll just say you're not thinking, because you're just having a conversation, you're open, you don't feel that you need to be guarded or to hold back any information, and say you tell them whatever, honey, I got a $50,000 raise. Now that would be that would be nice. And then as soon as they have the information, the next day they're like, oh, can I borrow $500? And you're like, oh, I don't have $500. Didn't you just say you got a $50,000 raise? Like, to try to guilt you into something. And honey, that has happened to me many a time in my life, and I had to learn how to deal with those people. And the way I have learned to deal with them and the way I set up boundaries is, I don't answer your questions. They'll try to rapid fire you with all these questions, question after question after question, where you don't even have time to think to answer the question, and you're just giving out information, and it's not until the whole thing is done and they've put you in a corner and trying to guilt you and manipulate you into something that you're like, oh my goodness, what is going on? So what I have found is, when I'm dealing with a person that I know that they're manipulative, and I know, baby, that they come to get information so they can try to get something from you, or try to get information from you so they can use it against you later, I take my time in answering their questions. And if I feel like they're being too intrusive and stepping over my line, or wanting to know something that really is none of their business, I don't answer. I hate to be rude, if I'm having a conversation, but I have to protect my peace, baby, and I got to protect myself. And this person is going after what they want, and I'm going to go after what I want. I want peace, and I want to live a peaceable life. And I don't want to be harassed. I don't want to be manipulated. I don't want to overextend myself. I don't want to let people just step over my boundaries and then just run, like the church people say, roughshod all over me, because that's what has happened to me in the past. It's like, you reveal a little bit of information. I was going to tell this story. But like I was saying, you reveal a little bit of information, and the next thing you know, they're bringing the information back to you, trying to use it against you. Perfect example. One day, me and some people, we were all in the store. We were in Walmart, to be specific. So here we are in Walmart. We're at the checkout line. Everybody has what they want. I think when we all riding together, I think we were all riding together in the same car. So this person had ample time to have a conversation with me or to broach this subject with me, but they did not. See, they waited until I got into a public place, and I guess they thought that I was going to be so embarrassed that it was going to push me to do what they wanted. It was embarrassing. I am not going to lie. It was embarrassing, particularly because, honey, it was this fine man. He was one aisle over, and he was like tall too, so he could see everything that was going on, and he could hear, because it wasn't like the person was trying to be discreet. They were like, let me borrow such and such amount of money. And then I told them that I didn't have that amount of money to let them borrow. And then they were like, didn't you just get paid? See, try to use my information against me to manipulate me into giving them what they wanted. And I was like, okay, I did, but what does that have to do with anything? It don't have nothing to do with nothing. And I had some other things going on, but I'm like, why should I have to explain to you what I have going on financially and why I cannot loan you or give you a certain amount of money? You ask me a question, and see, that's what now it's like. If a person asks me a question and I say no, that's it. I'm not finna explain nothing to you. You don't deserve an explanation. You asked me and I told you what my answer was. This was another situation that happened to me recently. Person calls me. First they just calling me to chit chat, blah 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 blah. Then they were like, oh, we over here doing this, blah 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 blah. But they were, whatever they were doing it at that very moment. So I'm like, okay, you just called me. If you already knew that y'all were having a get together, gathering or whatever, why didn't you call me ahead of time? Or why didn't you text me ahead of time and ask me? But the bottom line is, I wasn't available to go. So as soon as I said I was not available to go, first of all, they keep asking me the same question over and over again. And at that point, I'm like, you asked and I answered. I'm not going to keep answering the same question over and over again. You're not going to wear me down by sounding pitiful on the phone. You're not going to wear me down trying to manipulate me emotionally. I'm immune to you at this point. You know, years and years ago, they might have been able to get me and be like, oh, well, you know what? If this is going to make them feel better, I'll just go ahead. No. So then they start asking me, well, what am I doing? What does it matter? What am I doing? It doesn't matter. You asked, did I want to come? And I told you no. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Well, are you doing this? Well, are you doing that? Well, are you doing this? Well, are you doing it? It's like they're trying to get you over a barrel. So it's like the person trying to get me over a barrel. I'm like, well, what are you, in my mind, I'm like, what do they think is going to happen? This is not the first 48, honey. You don't have me locked up in a room and you don't put down a Coke in a bag of chips and now I'm about to spill my guts. It's not going to happen, you know? And so I'm just like, let me get off the phone with this person because they think that they're about to manipulate. And in my mind, it wasn't something that was so important that I really needed to come. I just feel like they wanted to have their way because this is a person that always wants to have their way. And anyway, I have to just be ready to nuck if you buck. Nuck if you buck. I have to be ready to fight, baby. Fight for my peace. Do you hear me when I say? And anyway, I'm just like, I don't know why people do that. And especially once, like with the person, the very initial person that I was speaking about, especially whenever this person tries to engage with me, if it doesn't have anything to do, if it is not within the scope of our relationship, I don't even answer. Or sometimes I will take a really, really long time to answer because it's not anything that really needs an answer. I just wish they would just leave me alone. I just wish they would just respect my boundaries and let me be. Let me be, honey. You're not going to wear me down. I will not be worn down. Sweetheart, you ain't doing nothing but strengthening me. Because the more you want to know, the more you try to encroach on my privacy, the more you keep trying to push past my boundaries, baby, the stronger I'm going to push you back. That's just how I am. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Actually, you know, I hate I be writing out notes and then I don't never go by them. I be all off around La La Land. But, I will say this, like when people try to, you know, get information out of you and people try to push past your boundaries, you know, they're trying to push you to a place to have a conversation with them that might not be safe, like the whole manipulation thing. Everybody is not safe to communicate with. You know, you can communicate with hi and bye, good morning, good afternoon, have a good day, have a good weekend, but everybody is not safe for you to reveal, you know, things about yourself, whether that is things about your spouse, your children, where you live, you know, what's going on with you. Everybody is not a safe place, and people act like because they want to know, you should just tell them. And it's like, no, you're not safe because I have seen your reputation has told me that you're not a safe place. So why would I give you anything? It's like, no. You haven't earned the right to sit in that space. So, you know, and if it doesn't feel right, honey, don't do it. If you can't think of nothing else to say, do like I do. I'll do that. Or sometimes, like, say somebody asks me, like, oh, well, what street do you live on? Oh, girl, it's been a long week. When you have a good weekend, honey, I done glossed right around that. Because I'm like, that's none of your business. You know, when I feel like when I feel like a person is being intrusive and my intuition is just like, stay away from this person. I don't know exactly what is going on with this person, but like everything in me is just like, do everything you can to keep this person away from you. And that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna listen to my intuition, because every time my intuition was telling me something and I just flipped it off and was like, oh, okay, you know, I'm just being this or I'm just being that, I have come to ruin. So guess what? After so many times of me ignoring the Holy Ghost, intuition, whatever you want to call it, I don't do that no more. I don't care what it look like. I don't care what nobody say about me. I don't care. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to. I'm not going to push past what I feel like is a warning going off internally, just so that this person can feel better about themselves. And that's really what people try to do. I know this video is getting long, but different things are coming to my mind, but that's really what people try to do. They try to bully you emotionally. And I've had people to do that. It's like, you know, they try to get you to do what they want you to do, because they're going to cause a tantrum or they're going to get upset. But honey, I don't care nothing about that. Your emotions do not move me. And I had to grow to get to that point, because you know, I would always relent. It would be like, oh, well, this will make them feel better. I'll just go ahead. You know, I'm a Christian, honey. Let me sacrifice. It's better to give than it is to receive. Well, I know they're going to get upset, so I'm just going to go ahead and say yes. No, I know you're going to get upset, and I'm going to go ahead and say no. No is my new love language. No, I cannot give you a ride. No, I cannot loan you any money. No, I do not want to come to your event. No, no, no. The answer is no. If that's what's going to be best for me, the answer is no. And if you're a person where people try to bully you with their emotions, they try to bully you because they're going to have an emotional outbreak, or they're going to give you the silent treatment, or they're going to go off or start crying, honey, you got to learn how to say no. Resist their emotional attack and keep it moving, because otherwise you'll be pulled every which way. Every time, you know, they don't get their way, or every time they want something, they'll manipulate you with their emotions and their emotional outbursts, and you know, all the little crafty things that they use to manipulate people and to get what they want. It's all about them getting what they want. They don't care nothing about you. They do not care. Some people don't even like you. It's all about what they can get from you. And I learned that through life too. In life too, honey, people will do and say whatever if it's going to benefit them. And once they've gotten what they wanted, honey, they're done with you until the next time they need you again. But anyway, I'm going to stop right now because I'm at almost 18 minutes and I don't want the video to be too long. But yeah, honey, guard your peace. Guard your peace and do not allow people to step over your boundaries. Let no be your love language. If you need it to be, no means I love myself. And yeah, don't let people manipulate you, and pay attention to how people are communicating with you, and pay attention to how you feel when you're communicating with these people, and what are the results of your communication. Do you always end up taking advantage of? Do you always end up doing things that you don't want to do? You know, do you always end up being pushed into a corner or being made to feel guilty just so that you can relent to this person's desires? That's not right. That's not right, and that is not normal. And it's dysfunctional, and it's so. And the sad thing is, like, it's in so many families, you have parents that do this to their children, siblings that do it to their children that do it to their parents, parents that do it to their children, siblings that do it to each other, or extended family members that do it to whoever they can. People that quote unquote say that they're your friend, but they really are not. They're just attached to you so that they can keep you close enough so that whenever they need what they want, they're like, oh, okay, I know I can get this person to give me what I need. So, you know, you got to pay attention to that stuff, and then pay attention to, if you keep finding yourself in those situations, you're in a cycle. And in order for you to stop the cycle, you have to change your behavior. So if you're always saying yes, if you're always relenting, if you always let people bully you, you got to stop what you're doing so that you can break the cycle. So anyway, I said I was going to end my video, and I'm going to end it now. So until next time, y'all take care.